Hello and welcome to the Review, the web show that looks back on the past week here on Al Jazeera, but also lets you do the talking. We're airing your comments, questions, and likes on a new website, aljazeera.com/review. So to start us off, let's take a quick look back at the top news stories you were watching, clicking, and sharing.
The message scrawled on the front door at 4 a.m. that read, "Go home Muslim scum," replaced now by hundreds of messages of solidarity from non-Muslims in the local community.
A Taliban court called into session in Kunar province, eastern Afghanistan. 3 men are accused of using their fighter status to steal livestock from a neighboring district. Their faces are blacked and hair cut off. They are no longer allowed to be Taliban fighters, and they will be whipped with sticks. The punishment is carried out immediately.
Although at one point the Peshmerga said that they were in full control of the town, they say now that there are pockets of resistance in the town and they've been getting incoming fire from the positions of ISIL. Here in the camp.
The capital Dhaka cut off from the rest of the country. Bus, rail and ferry services shut down. A move to prevent the opposition BNP's protests against Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina.
Denouncing a movement that they say is neo-Nazi, thousands of anti-racism protesters gathered in Cologne to show their disgust at Pegida, the new anti-Islam movement that's been staging rallies every Monday.
Amateur footage shows 2 black-hooded gunmen making their escape in a hail of bullets. A policeman lies injured. The armed men flee in a black Citroen.
The faces of 2 brothers, probably armed and dangerous, who police urgently want to track down after the horrific attack on a French satirical magazine. Armed officers moved into a housing estate in Reims, 150 kilometers northeast of Paris, searching for evidence.
You can comment on any of those stories and more on our website or by finding us on Twitter using the handle @AJReview. We've had lots of comments on the Charlie Hebdo attack in France, but we'll get to that a bit later. First, let's take a look back on which programs had you talking this week.
Take the plunge in these Micronesian waters and you enter an alien world, pulsating with life. Here you can swim through a milky way of jellyfish and emerge unscathed. This is just one of the wonders of Palau.
5 years ago, it became the first country in the world to introduce a shark sanctuary. Now there are 10 of them. But the president wants to take it one step further. He wants to ban all foreign commercial fishing in Palau's waters.
Figures from Palau and across the Western and Central Pacific reveal a fishery in crisis. Big-eye tuna is now officially overfished, and yellowfin is heading that way. I'm about to get a taste of what Palau's marine law enforcement officers are up against. It's just after dawn and the Remelick has found its target, a Taiwanese flagged longliner.
This is Palau Police, request to the board on your vessel.
In this room, about 10 children died and 15 damaged here.
And how old were the kids who died in this room?
From 6 years old to 15 years old.
The father of one of the dead children is wandering in the rubble.
Is it possible to ask on me?
ما بعرف ربما الكلمات ما راح تسعفني كثير بس المجزرة كانت فظيعة استشهدت فيها بنتي الحمد لله اللي الله أكرمني فيها.
Is this his child's shoe?
بيقول لك إنه هذا حذاء دوكا.
نعم. لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله.
Estás toda bonita.
Nessa minha caminhada, tu melhor do que ninguém, tu sabes qual é a minha jornada. Criar atividades, debates, mesas redondas.
Mas o que falam nesses debates?
Desta vez estou a pensar em falar da emancipação da mulher.
Sabes por que é que aumentou o índice de violência doméstica em Moçambique?
Por quê?
Porque mulheres acham-se iguais aos homens.
Qual é o contributo que vocês no lugar do homem dariam para os homens?
Qual será o contributo?
Nós, no lugar de homens, para as mulheres, nós garantimos segurança, alimento em casa. Agora, vocês como mulher, para homens...
Iguais aos homens.
Não é mais por esse ponto. Igualdade de direito. Tu ainda vais me encontrar e me agradecer por ter te aberto a visão.
Homem e mulher, não é mesmo?
São iguais.
Eu vou explicar os dois.
We'd love to hear what you think about this week's programs. As I mentioned earlier, we have a new website on AlJazeera.com where you can do exactly that. Let me give you a quick tour. This is our main page where all of the video comments are featured. If you click the big red record button here, a prompt will come up where you can record on your smartphone or even from your laptop. You can also upload a video that you've already shot. For example, here's Paul Roulette in Brazil.
I'd like Al Jazeera to explore the myth of racial democracy in Brazil, the truth behind the myth that Brazil likes to portray to the world. Thank you.
One event that's featuring heavily on our page this week was Wednesday's attack in Paris on satirical newspaper Charlie Hebdo. Social media conversation was buzzing with pointed fingers. Let's take a quick look back on how the story unfolded.
Gunmen have attacked the Paris office of French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo.
Amateur footage shows two black-hooded gunmen.
Charlie Hebdo has confirmed that 4 of its cartoonists are among those who died.
Sharb is thought to be Stéphane Charbonnier, editor-in-chief of Charlie Hebdo.
Vigils take place across France and elsewhere in Europe in solidarity with those who died. Heavily armed officers moved in on one building believed to be connected to one of the wanted gunmen.
We're getting reports that 2 suspects in the Paris shooting have been spotted.
Here's what some of our viewers had to say about it. Natalie Johnston commented, "I find that Al Jazeera is one of the very few media outlets that avoid drawing conclusions this early in the investigation." On Twitter, Felice Gunduz agreed. Al Jazeera English covering Charlie Hebdo attack in objective sense. Correspondents indicate that Hebdo offended Christians as well. On our Facebook page, Nicholas Alternativlos had a different take on our reporting. The intense media coverage is helping the terrorists to achieve their goal of spreading fear, he wrote. We have to become more relaxed. And in some cases, viewers took issue with Al Jazeera's choice to blur certain cartoons, as in this clip.
But in recent years, it's been regularly criticised over its depiction of Islam. In 2011, it renamed itself Sharia Hebdo for one edition with a cartoon relating to the Prophet Muhammad.
As Dr. Deagle pointed out, I am disappointed in you, Al Jazeera. By blurring the pictures in this video, you've successfully contributed to the extremist effort to destroy freedom of speech. Well, we thank you for those comments, but as a matter of editorial policy, Al Jazeera does not run satirical cartoons of any highly religious figures. And one tweet that was making the rounds Wednesday was by journalist Agnes Poirier. She was interviewed by the channel directly after the attacks. She said, "Charlie Hebdo attack. I have just been asked by Al Jazeera if Charlie Hebdo journalists should apologize for making fun at Islamists." Al Jazeera quickly responded, saying in a tweet to Agnes, "Here's a more accurate transcript. We, of course, condemn this barbaric attack on journos and civilians." They then posted the full question and answer online. Here's a clip from that interview.
This is not the first time Charlie Hebdo has been attacked. It's interesting, too, that you said it's not a question of if it was attacked or when it was attacked. Is there an idea that perhaps Charlie Hebdo should have apologized or should have reined in its editorials?
Well, apologize for what exactly? Blasphemy is not a crime anymore, and apologizing for taking aim at everybody in society, Muslim included.
Let us know what you think at aljazeera.com/review. Well, that's about all the time that we've got for this week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Review.